think Canada can compete very successfully in a world that is trying to reduce emissions. And Canada, because of its resource abundance, is actually well able to compete. In fact, currently Canada has about 78% renewable as a country in terms of its energy content. Because we have such a diverse array of resource, from hydro to oil and gas to wind, for example, and potentially biofuels, we can provide the right mix by region in Canada to have not only abundant energy, but affordable energy, and energy that is less and less impactful on the environment. I see tremendous opportunities for entrepreneurs in Canada to take part in this new clean tech revolution that we're in. The Commerce Board of Canada estimates that there's a $2 to $3 trillion investment required for us to meet our commitments under the Paris Climate Change Agreement. This is not only a challenge, it's also an amazing opportunity for Canadian entrepreneurs. And Shell's involved with Smart Prosperity, it's involved with networks like the Clean Resource Innovation Network, working with other entrepreneurs, governments, and companies to try to find ways to meet this challenge of more and cleaner energy. And because Canada has such an open, collaborative culture, we think that we're well placed to be able to do that. And there's a lot of really interesting ideas in Canada. The challenge we have is taking those inventions and converting them into commercial opportunity. That's the intent of networks like CRIN. That's the intent of Shell working with a whole larger collection of entrepreneurs. For example, deploying technology in our gas fields, testing that technology, working with Quadra 3 on methane detection, for example, and many other examples of this, where we think that we can help accelerate that innovation and provide that push for more and cleaner energy. Sustainability means being able to manage the emissions of your core business to the lowest level possible, while also adopting new technology that will reduce greenhouse gas emissions in future and provide the abundant and affordable energy that Canadians need. And so for a company like Shell, that means that we put a huge focus on high performance and low environmental footprint of our existing facilities, recycling water, minimizing land use, minimizing our energy consumption, deploying novel technology like solar, like we do in BC for our well pads. But also it means investing in new energies, not only in Canada, but around the world, in new fuels, in renewables, and in digital technology. How can we help consumers use energy in a less impactful way, in a more affordable way? And so Shell has made a big commitment to this new energies new line of business, and we're very excited about the opportunity that brings to us. We're looking to invest significant dollars, potentially up to $1 billion by the end of this decade, in pushing those three main sectors and looking at those opportunities, working with a whole collection of small companies through our Pathfinder work, through our Innovation Lab work, and finding out what can really be successful in more and cleaner energy generation. One of the key challenges for us is going to be decarbonizing the transport sector. We have such long distances in Canada to move between cities. We have such a lot of heavy freight that moves between rail and transport. Figuring out an economical way to decarbonize the transport sector will be important. The second one would be reducing emissions in our existing core industries. How can we get the CO2 footprint of our refineries, chemical facilities down? We're doing great work in that already with energy efficiency measures, but that'll be a continuing area of focus. A more broader strategic challenge will be, how do we get financing? How do we get the right capital to support innovation that's going to be needed and the partnerships that are going to be needed to make these revolutionary breakthroughs happen? Shell has long recognized the impact of climate change and the need for us as a company, an energy company, to be part of that transition and be a responsible player in the transition that we're in. Our challenge is simple and our purpose is simple. We need to find more and cleaner energy solutions for not only Canada but for the world. We've made a big commitment to that with our launch of the New Energies business last year, and a commitment to be spending significant dollars, perhaps as much as $1 billion by 2020. And we're focused on three main areas: new fuels, that can be for power generation, could be for transport. We're focused on renewables, where Shell already has a significant footprint, including wind, offshore wind in the Netherlands, onshore wind in the United States, on solar, on biofuels, where Shell has an enormous footprint, especially in Brazil with our ethanol production, but also increasingly partnerships in the biofuel space with several companies that are involved in providing low carbon options. And then lastly, in digital mobility, how can we help consumers use power in different ways? How can we mobilize networks that provide things like hydrogen, like we're working on in Germany and California and soon to be Vancouver, or electric charging, or other means to make sure that people can use power wisely and that it remains affordable for them in this situation where demand for energy is soaring, but we must reduce carbon dioxide emissions. If the vision that's emerging for Canada being a country that is able to grapple with these dual challenges of the need for more energy that's also less environmentally impactful, I think that we'll have a huge new sector in the economy that employs thousands of Canadians. It's able to take advantage of what we've learned and actually export that so that we can actually enhance our prosperity as a nation. Shell's part of Smart Prosperity, which is an alliance, a coalition of many different companies, NGOs, universities from all across the country, thinking about how we can work on our shared vision of reducing pollution, providing more energy, using it more efficiently, but also creating new opportunities for prosperity for all Canadians. So I think in 2050, if we have that opportunity to have several new sectors that have emerged that are able to deliver on that, that would be wonderful for Canada's long-term future. At the same time, we must be able to meet our goals under the climate change agreement. And in 2050, if we haven't done that, then we haven't been successful. So it's a combination of determination to meet those climate change goals, at the same time using our Canadian innovation and our Canadian collaboration to be able to find ways to deliver that energy that is affordable and abundant for the country to continue to prosper.